Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Nash from Tesla and the Gong, and this is Tesla's software update for the holidays, part 1. I'm going to tell you why it's part 1 in just a bit. This is 2020.48.26, and we're going to talk all about it in just a bit. This is a vastly different update from the rest of the world. In particular, it's definitely different from what the US counterparts have got. In US and in Canada, by law, they're supposed to have the external speakers, and many of the features in this update are for those external speakers like boombox and horn updates. Unfortunately, our Aussie cars do not have those speakers, so we do not get any of those. But even so, there are a lot of UI improvements, and we're going to see all that in just a bit. We're going to split this video into two parts. One, we're going to look at the release notes, and then we're going to look at what the UI changes and other features that have come about. There are chapters in the description of this video, so feel free to skip ahead to the part that you want to see. Now let's jump right in. Let's look at the release notes now. For some strange reason, it says 2020.48.25, whereas it is 2020.48.26 here. If you go into the software and you go up there, it says 2020.48.26, but the release notes are for 25. I wonder why. Maybe we'll get a 26 in just a bit, and that's why I think this is a Part A update, and a Part B update for Australia is coming very soon. Now, let's look at this. Release notes improvements. So you can now go into the control software and release notes and see what the current and previous release notes are. There are a few games that have come up. First one is Battle of Polytopia. And you can actually scroll up like so and get to the next one like so. It's, I think, new Battle of Polytopia. Elon Musk in one of the tweets said, "This is an amazing game. I've never played this before." Cat Quest is the next game. I guess anything with cats is amazing these days. And then Solitaire. You can see that there's a nice little touch. It's got the Tesla card deck there. It's a classic game. People have played this for years. These are the 3 new games there. And then you have the driving visualization improvements. Now, driving visualization has been refreshed and now offers a larger visualization to offer drivers view more details of the road surroundings. It is amazing. I'll show you that in just a bit. The next turn will now appear above the visualization if the navigation turn list is covered by another app. Additionally, select items have slightly moved but will continue to look and behave the same. Some notable differences include the following: quick access to backup camera and wipers have been moved to the bottom bar. Indicator lights have been moved to the side of the touchscreen, and Autopilot set speed, Autopilot availability and detected speed are now displayed next to the driving speed. I'm going to show that to you in just a bit. This is a very nice feature too. A scheduled departure improvements. The scheduled departure can now precondition your battery and cabin even when your car is unplugged. To account for different utility rate plans, you can now set the time when your off-peak rates end to save on charging costs. Very good feature for people who have variable rates. To access, tap on schedule from the climate control as well as on the charging panel. I'm going to show that to you in just a bit. The next one is the Supercharger display improvements. Supercharger pins on your touchscreen will now display the number of available stalls at charging sites. Quick search for nearby amenities by tapping on an amenity icon on the charging pop-up display. Very cool update there. The next one is the vehicle improvement. The Tesla T symbol has now been removed. As you can see there, it's no longer present. So if you want to look at the release notes, you need to go into control and then software for the same information. Now let's see what these changes are. Right off the bat, you'll see that the Tesla symbol is no longer there. The T symbol is gone, and the car visualization has changed as well. It used to be a different orientation. Now it sort of has an oblique profile there. The maps which were up to here has now been moved, and more of this display shows the car and the car's features right now. You can lock the car by clicking on this button. You can unlock the car by doing that. Very cool indeed. And of course, the 2021 Tesla Model 3 has powered tailgate, so you can click on that to open that, and the animation is so cool. You can close from here because this is a powered trunk. You can close that, and the animation is really cool. Pretty cool indeed. More animation features in the way the car is displayed. Keep watching the passenger and driver's side windows. I'm going to lower them now, and you can actually see them being lowered right there. The same holds good for the rear as well. Look at that. Pretty cool, isn't it? Now if I open the driver side door, that animation is really cool. It sort of opens the door all the way out. Unfortunately, the Model 3s do not have an actuator, but there is a car with actuators and automated doors which can be opened and closed from inside the car. This is the Model X, the Fabergé egg of Tesla cars. The way the animation of the windows opening and closing, even with the Falcon Wing doors set to open, is super cool. I really wonder if Elon and Team Tesla will ever make a special edition Model 3 or a Model Y with actuators and self-presenting soft closing doors. It would be amazing, isn't it? Tesla, if you're watching, please do consider making one such special edition car. Guys, while you're at it, a sub to the channel will be amazing. Please click on that subscribe button and click on that bell icon as well so that you can get notifications of my videos as soon as they drop. And if you like this video, click on that thumbs up button as well. I really appreciate this. Now, let's plow along. You see that the wiper and the camera button have been moved to the bottom bar. You can access the wiper here, and that brings up that it's set to auto. I can go and look at the camera as well. That's pretty cool. It's nice that it's been moved down here. And keep watching this. If we pull across from the side, and that animation is really cool, isn't it? The way that moves up. So all of the car's features have come up here. Let's turn this off. So let's slide that back down, and that moves down, and we can come this way as well, and that will give you the charge. So all this used to be static, and now it has been moved and hidden so that we don't have to see it if we don't have to. The car is front and center, and most of the driving visualizations are front and center now. Very good. It looks like Tesla is firmly transiting towards that full self-driving experience, and that is why these design changes have come about. Really cool. Now let's look at the hatchback, and this is where you have that scheduled charging. I've already set it up. Let's go click on that and check out what this is all about. Now you can say when you want to leave, which you could do before as well, but then it says the car will now charge during off-peak hours and precondition by this time. So I've set 6:45. If you click on the settings, you can say you want to do the preconditioning on weekdays, weekends. So this has been moved from that charging icon into the hatchback as well. But if you go in here, this is where the new feature has come up. It says you can set up utility off-peak rates, and at what times your utility off-peak rates ends. You can click on that. I do not have that in my house. I have a flat rate, and I have an EV deal as well where it is $1 unlimited charging, so I can charge all my cars for $1 a day. That's pretty good. It's no longer there. Now let's jump into the entertainment. Battle of Polytopia, Solitaire, and Cat Quest. Now let's look at the supercharger improvements that were mentioned in the release notes. Let's choose a supercharger. The closest supercharger for me is Berry. So if I click on the Berry supercharger there, it brings up this new tab which has all these. It shows you how many kilometers it's away from you. It shows you what the charging fees are, which is 51 cents per kilowatt hour here in Australia, and idle fees of $1.30 a minute. And it also shows you how many stalls are there and how many stalls are available right now. So this is a 130 kilowatt hour max Tesla supercharger. We do not have V3 superchargers here in Australia. We're hoping that it will come soon. And it has these amenities. It has toilets, it has the cafe and the restaurant, and it also has accommodation. Now, as you know, Tesla superchargers in Berry are located inside of Silos Estate. It's a gorgeous place. I have multiple videos of that spot. Please go check that out. So you can look at the other superchargers and see what the amenities there are. Pretty cool indeed. I did check. There is no evidence of waypoints being added to this. So let's say we want to go to Canberra. Okay, let's do that. It'll plot that route. And if we click on a point inside a map, so we can click on a point inside a map and add a waypoint there, but it does not have the true waypoint as such. It sort of comes there. Let's cancel this out and let's choose a random point there. And you can navigate to that spot, of course, but we can't add one more point. So let's say I want to add one more point there. it does not add it as a waypoint in that route. It goes to that spot instead. So waypoints are not present here, and that is why I think there is a part B. There is more fun stuff coming up in just a bit, and this is just a part A of the holiday software update. Alright guys, I did do a full drive with this in Wollongong. I have a live video which is probably processing right now, and it will drop on my channel very, very soon. I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video as well. This is awesome. The maps have become smaller, the visualization has become larger. It is really, really cool. So let's do this. So it sees the double line, it sees this keep left sign as a cone. Yes, I am in chill mode, guys. I am in chill mode. Yeah, it turns yellow, and the car comes. Let's go to an interesting spot. Let's go to Kayama Blowhole. Yep, it's time to move. You notice that the traffic lights are looking more animated. You can see the stop sign. This is pretty good. We don't need such a large map. So the map used to be till here, and now it's sort of moved to that side, and we have more visualization here. It's good. So even with this on, so if I have to swipe down, I'll get this, and you see this animation move up. That is pretty cool, isn't it? I'm going to turn on Navigator on Autopilot. Oh, it wants to go past this red light, which it ought not to go. Okay, now we'll move. It wanted to go past that red light. Okay. Navigator on Autopilot on. Let's say. Now, I've always wanted to show you this particular drive. We are nearing the Avondale Farms. So you can see if you go right, that is the Avondale Farms there. This is a sort of a odd sort of road. There's some inclination and there's a curve in the inclination. And here in Australia, we have loads and loads of these roads at many places, particularly here in Wollongong, with a slightly hilly terrain. You see the way the Autopilot handles this? Before, it used to go off to the side and veer off to the side. Now it is reasonably good. It's able to keep the midline more accurately than before. And because this is the holiday season, we have double demerits here. I'm going to be super duper careful. Okay, red light. One more time. That animation is super cool. It goes up. It comes down. Okay, I'm going to click on that. The 80 kilometer sign comes up there. And then we, it's not changed to 80 for some reason. It ought to have changed to 80 anyway. I'm going to push that to 80. Oh, I had to click on 80, that's right. Sorry. I want to show you one more edge case over here. It happens every single time, immaterial of whether I have a hardware 2.5 in my Model X, or after the hardware 2.5 was upgraded to 3.0 in my Model X, or now in this Model 3 as well, which has hardware 3.0. You will notice this road which goes straight, which is A1, and that is the road that we are on. And there is another one which goes to the right, which is the Illawarra Highway, which goes into Albion Park. And there is a set of lights and a roundabout which governs this exit into Illawarra Highway. Now keep watching to see what happens here. I want to point out that these cars which draw these boats are rendered together as one large semi or truck, as we call it here in Australia. Now it is important to know this because this is how the car labels these objects so that it doesn't merge into this, thinking it is two separate cars and there is a gap between. Now this becomes a 70 km/h road, so let me tap on that 70 and bring the speed down. Now keep watching. I must make mention here that the traffic lights are not always deployed. Sometimes it is just the roundabouts that work. So roundabouts work in a specific way here in Australia, so only those rules apply for some time. Like so, where you can see the traffic lights being recognized but no lights inside, it means the traffic lights are off. When we reach the turn, the car recognizes that as a traffic light and thinks it's for its own. If there are lights inside, it makes it even worse, and the car immediately slows down, immaterial of whether the traffic lights are on or off. This is another edge case that we can test here in Wollongong. And so this essentially is an FSD Beta Oz hashtag request video so that we can test these for Tesla. And we here in Australia can be an important part of a Tesla because we have the advantage of being a right-hand drive road and not much of resistance with regards to autopilot deployment here. Rightio, we did a jolly good drive. 128.7 kilometers with 2020.48.26 for 1 hour and 45 minutes with 146 watt-hour per kilometer as the efficacy. Pretty cool indeed. This whole drive was done with autopilot engaged for more than 99% of the drive, and it was a smooth drive, I must say. The car was able to negotiate most of the bends. It was a highway drive, so it was really good. Overtaking slow-moving cars and all of that, it was good. I really like this. I must say, I still feel that this Model 3 is an upgrade from my Model X because of all these new features that the car gets. I'm really impressed with this UI. I really like this UI. And in night mode, it looks much better than daytime visualization. Really cool.
Let's have a quick look and see what the Model X and Model S get with this software update. I need to thank Pete of Way Too Old for sharing his footage. Thanks, mate. Obviously, the X and S do not have an external speaker either, so they do not get any of the boombox updates. But the games are still there, and the scheduled charging is there as well. As we saw in the earlier part of this video, the visualizations actually look better in the Model X. As we saw in the Model 3, the minimize function is really cool. So now you can minimize a game and do anything in the background. The game just stays as a floating window, and then you can maximize it into full screen mode or into a larger floating window, as we saw in the Model 3. Pete here made a great observation. He noted that the dash cam and the sentry mode camera icons are still accessible even with the games in full screen mode. Now that is a massive plus, because sometimes we need to access these and we do not want to exit the game. We're quite engrossed in the game, but unfortunately to access that we may have to completely exit the game. In the previous versions, not anymore. Really good. Not much has changed with regards to autopilot. I guess it feels a little smoother. It does feel far smoother than the previous version in my Model 3.
There you go, guys. This is 2020.48.25 or 26. You decide. I think a part B is going to drop into our cars very soon, and there'll be more features in that. Unfortunately, we do not have the boombox features because we do not have an external speaker here in Australia, which is not mandated for us. That's a shame. But all the other features are quite nice. We have a vast UI improvement, which is very good. This is Nash from Tesla and the Gong signing off. And before I go, please click on that subscribe button, that like button, and click on that bell icon as well, so that you can get notifications of my videos as soon as they drop. If you are on the lookout for any of the sexies, consider using my referral code. A link to that in the description of this video. It will help an Aussie to get onto an EV faster. I'm really thankful for people who used my code, and a massive congratulations to everybody who has used my code and has had a Q4 delivery. It is an amazing Christmas gift indeed. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. This is Nash from Tesla on the Gong signing off. Peace.